All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Saran, a co-founder and CTO at Insight Health. Thanks for taking your time out of your busy day to join us. Joining me as co-host of this webinar today, John, our clinical success manager, Jamal, co-founder, CEO, and Dr. Pankaj Kaur, co-founder and chief medical officers. They are with me here answering your questions in the Q&A. So quick Zoom housekeeping before we dive in. You are all on mute, but don't worry if you have any questions. We have got you covered. If you have any questions, use the Q&A button at the bottom panel. We'll see a Q&A function and use that to ask any questions. And our co-host will be able to answer the questions via Q&A. This session is being recorded, so we'll send you the replay to your inbox after this session is over, when the recording is available. So that said, let me share my screen and we will walk you through the agenda here today. Bear with me for a few seconds. Right. So the topic of today's webinar is design your perfect note. And we have been using Aura AI Scribe for some time, and we wanted to go through some of the customization features, and they're pretty powerful. We will deep dive into some of the demos. And the format of today's webinar is mostly showing the product instead of going through the PowerPoint. So we'll show exactly how to do some of these aspects. And this is the team here. These are the co-hosts today. Myself, John, Jamal, and Dr. Kaur are here today to answer any questions you have. So these are some of the customization features that we'll see today. First, we'll start with some of the basics. We'll walk you through what is the pre-chart, in-visit, and after-visit, and how to use these in the charting area. So that we will see that, and we recently introduced the global note settings, and we'll walk through what are those settings available and why it's important, and the template studio. So this is where a lot of note customizations are available, and where you can customize the note sections and give custom instructions. And the template exchange is a pro feature, it's a paid feature. We'll see the features that are available in the template exchange, and magic edit. You might be have been very used to this feature, but we'll see what it's capable of, what are the additional features we can do with magic edit. And lastly, we just recently introduced a paid pro feature called auto template. I'll provide a quick walkthrough of what auto template is capable of and how you can easily build and template from your current patient's charts. So that's the agenda for today. So let's start with the pre-visit, in-visit, and after-visit. So I'm switching over to the encounter screen. So the first, when you start a new encounter by adding encounter, so this is usually what you'll see, the pre-chart and in-visit. So pre-chart, as the name says, it's usually before a patient comes in, and you wanted to take their existing charts and add some prior history from their previous charts that you wanted to summarize. Or if you have a medical assistant in your team, and they can also start the encounter and start pre-charting and record any of the vitals, are the patients compliant, and they can add it as part of the pre-chart. So this is usually, I mean, just as the workflow suggests, the pre-chart is something that you can add an encounter in advance and start pre-charting before you see the patient. And it's pretty helpful in usually adding the notes from the prior visits, or the medical assistant is taking the vitals. So it's very helpful to record those here in the pre-chart. And when the final note is generated, the in-visit note, the transcripts from the pre-chart is merged into the in-visit when the final note is generated. So both the transcript from the pre-chart and the in-visit will be combined and generated as a one single note when the final note is generated in the in-visit. So these are, though you can see the summary in two different tabs, when you generate the final note, it will combine the pre-chart notes as well. One additional feature that's available for pro users is add history. So add history is particularly helpful to add the patient's previous visit. You can copy paste from your EHR the previous visit notes, add it here, or you can download as a PDF from your EHR and drag and drop those PDF files here and then save history. So you can add history via this add history which is a pro feature. And in-visit is where most of you have used. When you start an encounter, this is the default tab that it shows. And this is where you can choose the amount of note details that you want and whether it's a prose or bulleted and start visit. So this is a pretty usual normal screen that everyone has probably seen this before. So there is one more screen, which is after a note is generated. It used to be called after visit, but we just renamed it to documents because it can support multiple documents. And one of those documents is an after visit summary. And once a note is generated, you will see in the document sections, you will see an option to generate a note, and you can select after visit. And when you click generate, the after visit instructions are usually generated. And you can download this after visit as a PDF file, and you can print out the PDF or send to the patient via email. So you can use this as an after visit summary. So one other feature we recently introduced wanted to highlight is this version history. And let's say you are editing the note once it's generated, we auto save the versions, and you will see the versions, what the AI generated means it's a generated, and if your name or email is there, that means you have edited, and we auto save this. And you can see the version as well by clicking on the view version. Or if you want to go back to the previous version, you can click restore version to go back to a previous version of the note. Let's say you don't like the edits and you want to go back to the original version, you can go back and click restore, and the note will go back to that particular version. Okay, so those are the basics and the pre-chart in visit and after visit, how you can use those. Next, we'll move on to this global note settings. We recently introduced this, and I wanted to draw your attention to this because This has some powerful settings which will uh, add more customizations into your note. So the one is the specialty. Make sure your specialty is selected here. If it's not, once you go into the settings tab, make sure the specialty is selected. For most of you who have onboarded, you usually select this. But there are some users who signed up even before we added the specialty feature. And you can, even if you want to change your specialty, you can do that as well. And we will customize the notes. We tune the notes a little bit more according to your specialty. So, and this is one of the options you can check. And so for each of those sections as well, you can change between problem focused narrative or prose bulleted. For assessment, HPR, and subjective. You can change the note format options by going into those individual sections. And for pro users, if you can include the ICD-10 codes as part of the note. Instead of we display the suggested ICD-10 codes on the site panel, but you can actually enable the setting to include the ICD-10 codes as part of the note as well. So those are the global note settings. So I highly recommend you visit the global note settings and make sure you choose those preferences and your specialty. Next, we will see Template Studio. This is one of the very powerful features of this product where you can take an existing template and customize as per how you want that sections to be and what goes under each of those sections. So first, the first step is going to this template studio, and we'll see all those pre-built templates, and you can start with one of those pre-built templates, let's say the soap template. And you wanted to, let's say you wanted to combine assessment and plan into one section. So that's what you wanted to do with the SOAP template. So the first step is to create a copy of this pre-built template. So then here you can say, we can give uh, a name that you can easily recognize. Combine A and P and save as new. So when you save as new, that means the pre-built template is, we took a copy of it, and you will see that above as your own copy, a personalized copy just above the pre-built templates. So that's the first step, is to create a copy of one of the pre-built templates and create your own version. And the next step is, so once you do that, you will start seeing this edit button and the delete button. So all of these will get enabled because this is your own copy. You can edit in however you want. So since we are going to combine this assessment and plan, the first step, what I'm going to do is delete this plan section. So once you delete, so you get a message the template is updated. So there is no save button. So all the changes you do in the template studio, they get auto saved. So there is, and you don't have to save each and every step you go along the way. So the next step is we want to create a section which is a combine assessment and plan. So what I can do is click rename and say this is assessment and plan. And here you can give some custom instructions. These instructions can be in a normal English and say, summarize assessment and plan combined. And you can go into a little bit more details on how you want it to be structured and give additional instructions, but I'm making it very simple, just summarize assessment and plan combined and save it as new. And now the assessment and plan section is created. It's a combined section is created. And then you can change the format of the whole note as bulleted or prose here. And you can give any additional instructions as well that is applicable to the whole plan. And then you can change the description if you want for easy identification. So other thing is you can also switch the order of the sections by dragging and dropping with your mouse. You can change the sections, the ordering as well. Right. So let's say I wanted to add a chief compliant. And if we wanted to get this chief compliant to the top, drag and drop to the chief compliant to the top. Okay, so now we created the sections and we can go and see how we can take an existing, apply to an existing node. So this, I generated this sample node sometime back. This is an HPI format. Let's go ahead and see how it looks in the new format. So the way you can do this is click Magic Edit and choose the combined ANP that we just did and regenerate. Click Regenerate. So it takes a minute or so to regenerate the node. But that's how you can test. You take an existing node and apply the newly created template and see how the template is applied, the template changes are applied. You can test with an existing node on what are those template changes are making. And then if it's not there, then you can go and change the template and the template instruction and regenerate the node and see how it's improving the node. So if you see here, achieve compliant and subjective, objective and assessment and plan is all come in a combined section. And if you wanted to go back to the previous version, you can go back and restore this version and then just refresh the page and it will go back to that restored version. Go back to that original HPI. So this is how you can test a new template that you created and with an existing node and keep refining. Let's say you wanted to make more changes, go back to the template studio and make more changes, come back, regenerate the node and test how the template changes are making effect in an existing node. Cool. So next, so we saw most of the features in Template Studio. We saw how to create a copy, how to create a new section, how to delete a section, how to rearrange the ordering of a section, and how to add more instructions to a section, and also how to test a new template created. By taking the new template created, go to an existing node, regenerate it, and see what effects it's having. And then you can go back and forth and change your node template as you want it. And then once you are good with the node, whenever you're creating a new node, just make sure the newly created node is selected, which is the combine A and P. So usually when in the template studio, the last selected one is always which it gets shown when you're creating a new encounter. But if it is not happening, you can make this as a default template. You can click this to make sure whenever you click a new encounter, that is a default node template that's selected. So all these customizations, this can be done for pre-chart templates and after visits templates as well. So it's not specific to InVisit. You can do for the other templates as well. All right, so the next is the template exchange, which is a pro feature. So in template exchange, um, this is mainly if there are multiple users in an account, and you wanted to share the templates that you're creating with other users in the same account, you can actually use this. And the other important feature in the template exchanges, we have a curated version of Insight Health templates that are available, and we make it available in these Insight Health templates. And if we frequently push some new templates to the template exchange, and these are not usually available in the dropdown. But let's say if you want one of those, AP, the consult specialty focused, let's say you like this, it's an neurosurgical specialty template. So let's say you want this, and you can read through what are those sections and instructions. And if you want to use this, you can click Get Template Note. And when you're creating a new encounter, it will come under the consult specialty focused. So that is the some of the features that are available in the template exchange. And as I mentioned, we curate and push and publish some new templates that are frequently used or liked by our users to this Insight Health curated template section. All right, moving on, Magic Edit. So we saw before one feature, what you can do with Magic Edit by regenerating an existing node using a new template. And the Magic Edit has few more features. So one of the other main feature is additional instructions. You can, for a generated node, you can provide some additional instructions in the Magic Edit, and you can regenerate it to change the notes format. You can add instructions to AI to change how you wanted to represent the note, right? And there are some few instructions where change patient name as this, right? So let's say if the note has the patient, or you can say change patient name to John Doe. That's one of the instructions. And then wherever the note has it says the patient, it will change the name to that particular name. So that's one of the instructions that you can provide in Magic Edit. And then you can change the note's verbosity. Let's say you feel the note is very detailed, you can try different note formats or even the note verbosity, note formats, and regenerate the note and see what affects and how the note format is changing. So there is one minor feature. It's called, if you hover over this arrow mark, you will see regenerate from scratch. So wanted to explain what this means. The regenerate from scratch is uh, if you build like many instructions or give more instructions in additional instructions and generated the node, usually when we regenerate the node, we take the last given instructions and generate a new node. But in regenerate from scratch, we regenerate the whole node without any additional instructions. So that's the major difference. So if you wanted to uh, you're trying a brand new template and you don't want to take any of those additional instructions that was previously given, then regenerate from scratch builds the node without any of those additional instructions that were given. Okay, I think quick time check. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. So the last feature I wanted to talk through is this. We just recently released this. It's called Auto Template. It's a really cool feature where you can build a template from scratch using one of your existing patient node. So instead of building all those sections and editing all those sections, if you have an existing node template that you have frequently used, you are using in your EHR, you can take this, you can copy paste with the section headers, or you can export it as a PDF and use that to create an template. So let me quickly show how that works. So you will find it under this new option called Auto Template. And again, this is a pro feature. And so here, there are two options. You can drag and drop a file in one of your existing notes in a document format or a PDF format, or you can copy paste the notes from your EHR. So what I'm going to do is for this example, I'm going to copy paste an existing note. Bear with me for 1 second. Let me open a sample note. Okay, copied a sample note, and I'm gonna paste it here. Just paste. So this is a sample note. So there's no real data involved. There's a sample note created, and it has chief compliant and some medications, HPI, vital signs, allergies, and assessment and plan, combined assessment and plan, social family history. So this has quite a few detailed note sections that are involved. And instead of creating all of these as a customized note, once you copy paste the note, your existing note, and click upload. So it will take a good minute or so. So what we are doing is we are uploading your current note and assessing the AI model is assessing what are the different sections and see what is inside different sections and building a node template. So while this is building, we may want to specify where that node template needs to go to. So we will create InvSet. And you can see these sections are built already for you. So chief compliant HPI, medications, allergies, vital signs, all these sections have been already added. Problem list, review of systems. And you may have seen, you can see like it also added some custom instructions based on what it detected from your existing node. And so once you verify this, you can still go edit if you want, move around some of the sections, or edit this custom instructions. So to do that, the next step is generate template. And once you generate template, we'll give a name here. Automatically, you can change the name and can move around some of the sections, and just like how you normally edit these sections, which we just saw before, you can do the edits. And let's say if you want to use it, and when you are creating a new section, you can start this. You can use that new template to start the visit. So we are at time. So that wraps up the webinar today. We saw all the powerful customization features, and you'll get a short survey after this webinar. And if you have more suggestions, if you want to hear more topics on what you wanted to hear in the future webinars, drop in that note in that survey, and we will arrange future webinars. Thanks for your time today. Have a great day.